I first heard of Ramana Maharshi when I was a member of the Ashram of Sri Aurobindo. I asked Sri Aurobindo about the Maharshi, and he wrote back that he was a yogi of remarkable strength and attainments, and that his austerities had won glory for India. On another occasion, he characterized him as a Hercules among the yogis. So I longed to pay a visit to Sri Ramana Ashram. When I arrived at the ashram, I felt a deep malaise. How could I hope to get peace and inspiration from the Maharshi if I had failed to get it at the feet of my own guru, who I felt was surely no less great? Yet I sincerely felt that I had done well in coming to seek inspiration from the great yogi, since he was venerated by spiritual aspirants of every category. I entered the hall of the great sage, where he has been living a singular life, blessing all, but belonging to none, interested in everything, but attached to nothing. He gave the impression of Shiva, the great god of compassion, living a blissful, free, and open life, with no walls of ego to cabin the summit vision. What I saw impressed me deeply, though I find it far from easy to portray what I saw, or rather experienced. Here was a man who lived like a god, supremely indifferent to all that we worldlings clamor for without cease. Dressed in a bare cowpen loincloth, he yet sat ensconced in grandeur of peace and egoless bliss, which we could but speculate upon, and yet never truly fathom. I touched his feet, and then, without a word, sat down near him on the floor and meditated, my heart heaving with a strange exaltation which deepened by and by into an ineffable peace and bliss, which lasted for hours and hours. Words seem utterly pale and banal the moment you want to describe an authentic spiritual experience, one which is vivid, throbbing, and intense. Later, as I reclined, bathed in peace, in an easy chair under the stars at which I gazed in an ecstasy of tears, I felt deeply grateful towards the Maharshi. I recalled a pregnant saying of his, "Just be. All is in you. Only a veil stands in between. You have only to rend the veil, and then just be." I had found this favorite remark of his rather cryptic till now, but at this moment I understood for the first time and wrote a poem in homage to the Maharshi. The Maharshi's self-obliviousness was enchanting for me. Greatness sat easily on him as beauty on a sunset cloud, but with a devastating effect. All our ideas as to how the great should act seemed to be dismissed by him with a smile of simple disavowal. I saw with my own eyes, day after day, during my 5-day stay at the ashram, of this unique sage, the like of whom I am sure is not to be met within this vast world. I have never in my life of varied experience and wide traveling met a man so utterly indescribable and yet so profoundly moving. I cannot say why he moved me to my depths, with eyes where no soft light of emotion presided, and yet it bathed me when I met his gaze with a peace that I find as unaccountable as it was delectable. The Maharshi has not the slightest use for pretentiousness and self-importance. He is for no trappings, either of speech or learning. I saw indeed a man who in his exterior was anything but distinguished, far less handsome or captivating, and yet, how shall I put it? He was so compelling and so disarming. I shall never forget how deeply stirred I was when I saw his austere yet kind face in the light of electric lamps. The peace I felt reminded me of the startled, though unvoiced query of Paul Brunton when he said, "Does this man, the Maharshi, emanate the perfume of spiritual peace as the flower emanates fragrance from its petals?" I sang songs more than once in his presence, and every time I was ravished by his kind glance and bewitching smile. I realized for the first time what is really meant by the word sacred. Extracts from Dilip's poem. To Sri Ramana Maharshi. O son of dawn, who only knowest the sun, and through his eyes of light seest all that lies, revealed a flawless plenitude which none but the sun's own children ever might surmise. For only the chosen few so far have won the truth that shines beyond world's wounds and cries, who see thee throned in the high dominion of self's invulnerable verities, enjoy a glimpse of bliss of the beyond. Thou singest, "Nay, 'tis here," yet without thy's compassion's pledge, how few would understand. Homage to thee, O minstrel of clarity.